So, who's ready for a grindy episode? Or at least a episode with a lot of getting distracted in it, because that's what's about to happen here. Did a fair amount of stuff off screen. Let me show off some of the spoils of that. So, I caught my chop, leveled it up to get cross chop, evolved it. Not that I had to evolve it, but figured I would anyway. And to make that easier, I also picked up a lucky egg, which I'll show the footage in the corner, I guess. Basically just Yanma'd it. It worked fairly well. As you can see here, I got quite a few eggs prepared. 5 Magby, 5 Mine Junior, so I'm gonna go hatch those now, I suppose. And I'll go ahead and reveal the results of the poll here, even though you probably could just check it yourself. Might as well go up. Okay. I guess we're getting one right off the bat here. Results are, for the most part, pretty predictable. The number one Pokemon to get voted off the team is, in fact, Terrance, as I pretty much figured, and I don't know if it's because I said that that was my personal choice, but that probably had an influence on it. There is a notable crowd saying that he should stick around to handle ground types, though. I'm not too worried about that at the moment, but I'm sure I'll pick up a grass move somewhere else. I don't know. It's not a major concern, I think. That got 31% of the votes. Next up was Caroline, who, again, is kind of in the middle of a debate because the LP was designed for the Cleffa solo run kind of as the, like, precursor to what this run ended up being. But, again, there's a good reason why it stopped being that type of run, because Cleffa is not all that great. And yes, I could probably power through the entire game if I over-leveled like crazy, but at the same time, I don't want to be held back by old reasons. So Cleffa's probably going to be the second one to get knocked off the team. Third was Sponge. Cleffa had 25%. Sponge has 13. Fourth place is the combination of Lugosi and whatever Mime Jr. I replace it with. That one was actually, I think, at number 2 at one point. I'm not sure if people were voting for, like, that option as yes, replace it, instead of I don't want you to use either, but either way, that got 12%. Then we have don't use a Bonsly, don't use a Riolu, kick off Stacy, and don't use a Magby. So Magby is actually pretty well liked from what I can tell. So here's what I've got. I've got Bold, Rash, Docile, Calm, Relaxed. Don't know what all those natures do offhand. I'm going to look them up in a second here. One of them is a female. And just in terms of abilities, we've got Flame Body, Flame Body, Flame Body, Flame Body, Flame Body. Okay. I didn't know if Magmar/Magby actually got a second ability. If it does, I got really unlucky and didn't run into it. But yeah, gonna pick the cream of the crop and nickname it in a minute, so I will be back when that happens. Well, I'm probably about to get yelled at. Here's basically the part where I have to decide which nature is the best, and what I decide on is going to be disagreed by the majority of the commenters, I'm guessing. Because I'm usually pretty shite at picking natures. So we've got Bold is plus defense minus attack. Rash is plus special attack minus special defense. Docile's neutral. Calm is plus special defense minus attack. Relaxed is plus defense minus speed. I looked up Magby's stat spread and what it's basically good at, and it's surprisingly fast. It's actually faster than Pichu, which I wasn't expecting. Has pretty decent, like, attacking stats, all in all, and is not so great on the defenses. So, looking over all of the ones I have here, I could just go with neutral, which is not usually recommended. I have several other neutral party members, but that doesn't mean I have to stick with them. Honestly, I think Yeah, now that I think about it, I think all the neutral party members are getting kicked off anyway. So, not going to go with that. I'm going to go with Rash, plus special attack, minus special defense. Do I want to put negative defense on baby Pokemon that are probably going to die anyway? Most likely not, but... It's probably as close to a sweeper as I'm going to get with babies, so... Sweepers don't really need the defense. That's my logic here. I'm sticking with it. And let's ignore the arguing going on outside. God, I'm not sure how audible that is. Probably fairly audible. I'm honestly kind of curious what they're rambling about, but whatever. So, gonna go ahead and nickname it. Not as many good nicknames for Magby as some of the other Pokemon, but I actually liked the name Pompey. So I'm going to stick with that one. I'm also really hoping that I'm spelling that right. I should probably double check. Give me a second here. As the car starts outside. Yeah, I spelled it right. Okay. So, if it had been female, I was going to go with Lele. The other recommendation was... Pele, but that sounds like a soccer player, so Lele is the name of the female volcano from that lava short that Pixar did, so I figured I'd go with that one. Anyway, we now have Pompey added to the team as the 6th member, and let me go ahead and organize crap, because, you know, this has to totally be shown. But whatever, it'll take like 5 seconds. It's not that bad. Next up is hatching the Mime Jr. eggs, and this one was a bit more, again, pretty much everything was debatable, like, according to the votes. A lot of people didn't want me to boot off Lugosi. I suppose I don't really have any major reason to do so, and I actually looked over the stat spreads of the two. Let me go back here so I can bike, and then I'll hatch the eggs. Comparing the stats of Chingling to Mime Jr., it's actually not as beneficial as I thought it was at first. I thought it was pretty clear-cut. Mime Jr. has 25 less HP, 5 less attack, and 5 less defense, trading for... let me put away Tropius here. Trading for 5 more special attack, 40 more special defense, and 15 more speed. So basically, it loses a decent amount of HP and a negligible amount of attack and defense in order to get a negligible amount of special attack, quite a bit more special defense, and a bit of speed. So it's like, the special defense is nice, the lack of HP is concerning, but we'll see how it goes. Nothing's set in stone yet. I'm not, like, definitely going to ditch Lugosi here, but in terms of overall usability, I feel like Mime Jr. has more options. I say this knowing perfectly well that I'm probably going to be stuck with Confusion and basically nothing else. But on the plus side, this thing does actually learn psychic attacks that are not Confusion, naturally, so I don't have to spend a shit ton of coins at the game corner to get the Psychic TM, which is definitely nice. It also has Baton Pass capabilities, but it doesn't learn Baton Pass until the 40s, so... or possibly even like level 50, I forget which. So that'll be kind of interesting. I've never really tried Baton Passing in an in-game team before. I say as if I've ever used one in a competitive team, which I haven't, because I don't do competitive, but shut up. So yeah. We're going to be replacing them, at least to start. Could always go back on that. And the Pokemon to get booted off the team is going to be Terrence, at least to start with, once I get Bonsly, which will probably be later in this episode. The other thing is, do I want to use a Riolu or not? There were a few naysayers to that, basically saying that Riolu's overplayed, don't use it, everybody uses one. The truth to that, though, is that everybody uses Lucario. So it's not exactly the same, but yeah. So here we've got a bunch of Mime Juniors, most of them female, which is fine with me because I liked the female aim I had planned for this. We've got... oh, Wake Up Slap. Okay. I guess that was bred down from the Machop. I didn't realize that. Filter, soundproof, filter, filter, filter. Okay. I'm fine with that because I wanted filter anyway. What it does is... I don't think it completely negates super effective. Let me actually check. I've got so many freaking tabs open right now. And we're back. Possibly last cut of the video, we can hope. Things actually didn't work out the way I expected with these. Let me explain. So, we've got Impish, which is plus defense minus special attack. I like the defense boost, not so much the special attack drop. Serious, which goes well with the whole everything was serious at the beginning of the game, plus it's a clown, so why so serious? Lol, Joker. This one has soundproof, so overall this one's kind of shit. Gentle, which is plus special defense minus defense, which is basically strengthening the one that's already good, weakening the one that's already bad. I could go with this one, but I don't necessarily want the defense drop. And then the last two we have Modest and Adamant, which are two natures that I already know offhand, and most competitive people probably do. Modest is plus special attack minus physical attack. Adamant is the opposite. So, definitely don't want Adamant. Modest is probably the best that I can choose. It just so happens this is the only male out of the entire group. And I really cannot let that, like, impact my decision here. I wanted to go with a female one so I could name it Penny. Oh well. I'm not going to choose a worse nature just for gender balancing, because overall it really doesn't matter. So, we're going with this one. We're going to just call it Pennywise. I didn't really see any other recommendations that I liked. I've not ever watched the movie It, but Pennywise is the name of the clown from that movie, and it works. It's either that or, like, Ronald McDonald or, like, gay clown or ass clown. Some stupid thing like that, I don't know. But, so yeah, we're going with that. So let's go ahead and deposit a bunch of crap, because I need to get it out of my team. And at this point, now that we've spent a large amount of time wandering around, hatching eggs, looking at natures, thinking of nicknames, boring crap like that, time to move on to grinding, which is going to be so much better. By grinding, I basically mean we're going to be going to the water route south of Sandgem, where there are a bunch of trainers that I can basically get a few levels off of and eventually find a Pseudo-Widow in the wild. So let's head over there after we cut the ground, apparently. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be a real fun episode, but it had to be done at some point after I walk into that guy a few times. Come on. So let's grab the team that is surviving, which at this point is everybody except for Lugosi, I think. We've got more musical accompaniment from cars outside, which is always fun. God damn it, why do they have to do this? Oh well. We can claim that it is funny, even though it's not really. Okay, seriously, I'm pausing though, because this is bullshit. Fart Shartley, that was the other nickname that was rejected because obvious reasons. And also because we don't need more Vine Sauce references. Alright, so let's see how we're gonna do this. One of you gets the experience share, one of you gets a lucky egg, and we'll try to make this work. This is so not gonna work. Oh. It occurs to me, I need a Pokemon with Surf. Let me go grab one. But yeah, the other thing was, during my scatterbrainness, I forgot to mention, like, I did eventually want to say what the, filter ability did, and it basically, it doesn't completely negate special attacks, but it makes them less effective, I guess was the conclusion that we came to. It's like, and by we, I mean when I read Bulbapedia, I don't know why I worded it that way. It makes super effective attacks do like 1.5 the damage instead of twice, and quadruple effective would be ×3, but that doesn't apply to a single type, because Fairy still doesn't exist in this generation. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a double battle, because that'll end well. One other thing that was addressed in terms of the like how we determine who's going to get kicked off the team, adding Magby and Bonsly is going to cover both of Sponge's like good attacks currently, so it's got that going for it, like for a reason to boot it off. I'm thinking honestly there's a possibility that the two normal types might just be like cycled. I'm not exactly sure yet, but it's a possibility. Let's get rid of the Shellos because it has a ground move. Alright. Yay. Alright, do we actually want Copycat? What does it do? Oh yeah, that's the one I used on Caroline for a while. Of the moves here, I'm thinking probably not. Tickle is not the most useful thing. Screw it, get rid of Tickle. I'm not going to use it. I'm probably not going to use Wake Up Slap either, because it's a fighting move on a Pokemon that has no reason to have a fighting move with a negative special or negative physical attack nature with a shit physical attack stat to begin with. But it's there for coverage until I get something better, I guess. The experience loadout is going to be amazing for the beginning here. Can we avoid getting killed by Mud Bomb? Let's find out. I'm thinking no, because Thunder missed. Oh, and Mud Bomb missed. But Rollout did not miss. So, yeah. I think a good portion of this trainer section could probably be ignored, honestly, but I don't want to just completely off-screen it either, so whatever. After I go back and heal, I think my next order of business here is to start going over old playthrough of the day, which in this case is Pokemon White. Let's see, Smokescreen, yeah, get rid of Leer. So yeah, White version, I definitely went into planning the team meticulously beforehand. I had done the same for a few other games before that, like this wasn't anything new, but I remember spending a very long amount of time planning it for this one. And this was also the first game that I went into specifically knowing I was going to use more than 6 Pokemon, because oh jeez. I forgot Wild Pokemon. Okay, let's go back and heal again, and then maybe not have a level 5 at the front of the team. Would probably work out pretty well. Here, you can... Alright. Anyway, I already forgot what I was saying, but yeah, I went into that game knowing I was going to do a team of 12, and that is exactly what I did. The final team that I ended up going with, I say this because there were actually a few things that were dropped. Hold on, let me... Yeah, team management with 2 babies on the team, well, 2 newly hatched ones, rather, is going to be slightly annoying for a while, but they'll catch up. Here, you. Yeah, final team was Embor, which was nicknamed Abner after the pig from Hey Arnold. Lilligant was nicknamed Fiona after my friend, and also I just like that name. Simipour was Otto because it has dreadlocks, and it reminded me of Otto from Rocket Power. Crocodile was Croc and Roll, which is apparently an LPer. I know this because I think Billy MC mentioned it in one of the Retsupre videos. I have never watched anything from Croc and Roll, though, so I don't know this for certain. It's just a weird name, and felt like using it. Sigilif, I nicknamed Heidi, because hieroglyphics. Also, I just like the name Heidi. Ooh, here's actually Meditate. Meditate boosts attack, which we've already determined I'm not going to be using. If I did keep it, I would have to keep it specifically for the sake of keeping Wake Up Slap, which we've determined I'm not keeping. So, I either get rid of Barrier, which I shouldn't, because that is actually kind of useful. Get rid of Copycat, which I could do, or screw Meditate. I'm thinking screw Meditate. The only thing I could think of for keeping Meditate is if I eventually want to keep it for Baton Pass later on, but eh. Goldeen need Log. Here, get some more experience. Anyway, Sigilif was the last one I did. Next was Archeops, which was nicknamed Archibald. Pretty generic nickname, just kind of similar sounding name. Should have called it Mrs. Commanderson, even though it doesn't fit, but I didn't think about that at the time. Reuniclus is named Mitzi because it is similar to mitosis, I guess. That's like the first same letters, I don't know. Jeez, how many freaking Pokemon do you have? I'm so used to trainers having like 2 Pokemon and that's it. Here. Kill the damn fish. Ugh. Kill the damn fish. No. I'm gonna have to go back to heal after every single fight, and it's gonna be amazing. Fuck off. Okay, Encore. That's something I like better. Once again, could get rid of Copycat. Probably will. Wake Up Slap, I really don't see myself using this move, but... I hate to get rid of it, because it was an egg move. Screw it, I'm gonna get rid of it. It's not gonna be good on a Mime Jr. Go away. Okay. There we go. Off to heal. But yeah, I'm incredibly scatterbrained here because I'm having to, like, go through the list of Pokemon and heal and do all this crap. But yeah, Reuniclus was last. Next was Vanillux, which is Ben and Jerry, except there's no ampersand, so it's Ben plus Jerry. I had a Jellicent named No Name, because it's a blue jellyfish and SpongeBob. It jokes. Galvantula was nicknamed Chocolate, which is probably the shittiest name I've ever come up with. It is surprisingly not a reference to Power Thirst. It's supposed to be like Charlotte, but like Charlotte's Web, but shock, because it's an electric type. Yeah, I don't really have any justification for that one. Then there was, Chandelure was named Calcifer after the flame from Howl's Moving Castle. I think a lot of people probably use that name. And last was a Stunfisk named Betty. Once again, don't really have a reason for the name Betty other than there was a show called Ugly Betty, and Stunfisk is kind of ugly. I do like Stunfisk, don't get me wrong, but it is ugly. Here, just try not to die. I said try not to die. What is this? Okay, good. Insert salty joke here. But yeah, that was the final team I ended up going with. When I say final team, I mean basically, like, kept them throughout the playthrough and didn't do any weird replacing shenanigans. Obviously, only 6 of them ended up in the Elite Four, but then I did, like, the rematched version with the other 6 later on, so whatever. Also, I forgot to switch out. You can go ahead and do that. The other Pokemon that I had in that game were a Stoutland named Misha, after one of the dogs that we had growing up. Ended up dropping that one around the 3rd gym because it was not as interesting as other stuff. I did pick it up again for, like, post-game leveling things up, though. I had a Scraggy, which I will not say the nickname of yet because it was used for my White 2 playthrough, and I basically just decided to kind of hold on to it for that one. And they weren't really team members, but... Oh, shit, I forgot to switch. Oh well. Yeah, they weren't really team members, but I did use a Lucario and a Togekiss for, like, bait and switch, leveling crap up for the Pokedex towards the end, so they get, like, honorable mention. But yeah, that was the white playthrough. Nothing really comes to mind in terms of, like, super interesting things to talk about on that one, but I like Black and White. A lot of people don't. I thought they were pretty good games. I liked that everything was, like, all new Pokemon. It kind of gave you a good variety to choose from, and you didn't have to rely on, like, old stuff, which a lot of people don't care for. They like to just use their older Pokemon that they use every time, and that's fine, I guess. I like to usually try out new stuff, though. I find that that's more fun. Good. What the hell was all that? Okay. And we're dead. Cool. I'm thinking I might stop with the bait and switch pretty soon and just stick with the straight experience share and nothing else. Faint attack. Let's see. We've got... Smog pretty much sucks. Yeah, I think we're getting rid of Smog. So it's 60 power, can't miss. 20 power, 70 accuracy. Piece of shit move. You are going away. Alright. I probably need to go back and heal again. Let's do that, because that's fun. Well, now that my entire bit of commentary talking about the white playthrough has been spent, let's see, what else have I got? Oh, apparently I'm coming up to video number 2000 here. I didn't actually realize that until somebody pointed it out, because I don't really look at my number of videos. I'm actually not even sure where you go to check that, to be honest. And there's probably a discrepancy between, like, videos that are publicly viewable versus private ones, because I don't have many private ones, but I think I have, like, old, like, stream announcement things that I never deleted that are still on there and that kind of crap. And I probably have a good number of videos that I don't really have any reason to keep at all that I could go back and clear out, and that would make me no longer at 2000. So the number is a little bit arbitrary, but it's kind of cool. I don't have any plans to really do anything major. I don't know, like, I don't know if that's disappointing to anybody. Like, I could probably do another, like, top whatever moments video at some point. I'm trying to think. Now that I've, like, said that out loud, I am almost committing myself to doing it. But, before I do such things, I probably need to focus on other crap that needs to be done. Such as keeping up with patron requests and not being a jackass and doing things that I promised, such as editing Melee. So, yeah, that'll probably... I imagine there will be a time when I will indeed be able to do a, like, top X number of moments video, and it can be like a late 2000 videos celebration type deal, but I don't know. Or I could just hold that off until the anniversary of whenever I uploaded my first video, which is probably sometime later this year. Because I know April 1st was my, yeah, we're not keeping double slap, by the way. I know my YouTube join date was April 1st, 2006, and so as a few people pointed out, I just hit my 10th anniversary. But since I didn't post anything for the first few months of starting the account, I don't know if that necessarily really, like, counts for anything. Hence why I did not address it. Can we get rid of the Sea King, please? Can we get rid of the Sea King, please? This is the most tedious battle. Oh my god. And we're dead. Okay. Alright, I think I have come to the conclusion here that I probably need to bring a fourth Pokemon with me. And, oh god, that humming noise outside, what the hell is that? Basically, not be... Oh, jeez, I outsped that tentacle? Okay. But yeah, having an HM slave and 2 low-level things that I can't really use on the team is slightly hampering my ability to do stuff, so let's go grab Sponge. I'll just level up one of them and put the other in the PC for a while. Can always switch out later. You still have experience share, and actually are equal, so whatever, I'll just grab you. I swear, we are going to get through this route. It is going to happen. I don't care how boring this route is going to be, and how many dead cat songs I have to sing along the way. We will get through it. After running into more Tentacool. I guess this is a decent time to point out the stupidity of just early Diamond and Pearl days, because I remember on the GameFAQs forums, a lot of people, like, missing various Pokemon that they needed to see to get the national dex, and one of the stranger ones that kept popping up was Tentacool. I guess they just used repels on the limited number of ocean routes, or just, like, I mean, this one here is basically completely optional. You have to go through a bit of it to get to the Pokemon League, and that's about it. So they either never ran into one, or just, well, obviously they never ran into one, but yeah, they either, like, put up repels or just got lucky, I don't know. And, of course, rather than do the sensible thing and, like, look up a list of Sinnoh Pokemon, see, oh, hey, it's a Tentacool, and then, like, go out, surf for 5 minutes and catch one. This isn't gonna end well. Volt Tackle, go. Nope. See, I hate to be giving experience to Terrence knowing he's probably gonna get replaced soon. Then again, I guess Caroline probably is too. Whatever, you go. What was I gonna say? Yeah, rather than just go out and, like, find a Tentacool, it was not just one incident, I remember. Like, people would realize they were missing it, and then specifically, like, ask for someone to trade one because they were too lazy to get it, and this very much pissed me off because, obviously, I was very anti-trading at the time. Still to this day, like, even though I've lightened up on that, I feel like that was a bit retarded. Just, like, is it really that hard to frickin' go out and surf? No, you have to, like, I don't know. I'm repeating myself at this point, but it was stupid enough to be mentioned. Alright, so you get switched with not wanting to use Sponge until the other team members catch up. Can we kill off the Floatzel? Okay. Yeah, I think we want to kill off this Floatzel soon. Okay. Which is weird, because Tentacruel is probably the more threatening of the two, honestly, but I wanted to get rid of it for whatever reason. Alright, so here's the deal with Mimic. It's similar to Copycat, but has more permanence to it. Yeah, you get to keep that move for the rest of the battle instead of, like, just kind of having to switch every time. So therefore, it is a bit more useful. I'm going to switch it out, and I have to point out here that this is also going to make things more annoying, because Mime Jr. evolves by having Mimic on its learn set, and that means that by learning this move, I'm basically dooming myself to more B-button presses, but it's not like those have ever really been much of a problem in the first place, so whatever, we'll deal with it. I'd rather have the superior move. I don't see myself using either of them that often, so I might end up replacing it anyway, but whatever. Does this Tentacruel have Liquid Ooze? Let's find out. No, it doesn't, okay. So what does it have then? Clear Body? I don't remember what its other ability is. Come on, just freaking finish it off. There we go. And evolution. Nope. How many trainers have I cleared out so far? Let's run into more wild stuff and then die. Or not. Spondage, you get in the front. I like the water continuously beating up against this Pokeball here. Not going to make Magic School Bus reference. Any other stuff here? Really? I always like to hide stuff on these, like, little shallow water areas. Oh, maybe there's one over here. I'm gonna say it's pretty likely there's one here. Really. Game Freak, you surprised me. Okay. Did I already fight this swimmer, actually? I might have. Let's see. Yes, I did. Okay. Going back to heal and switch out. Okay. Found a dead end with the trainer. Let's go ahead and battle. And I think I forgot to switch Pompeii into the front because I'm excellent. Yep. Alright. Well, let's try and get rid of this thing without dying horribly. Okay, off to a good start. So basically, once again, relying on managing to kill this thing in one hit, which I don't necessarily see myself doing. Okay. I will definitely accept that. And level up. And surprisingly, no level up on Magby. Okay. Yeah, get out of here. I'll get tougher with water Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot else to say about this route. It sure is just a water route, which is not exactly everyone's favorite section of any Pokemon game, because they all kind of look the same, and they're water, which, as we've discussed before, the ocean is a waste of space, so I don't know. I like how many people got pissed off at me for saying that. It's like, how dare you? The ocean is beautiful. Okay. It's also way bigger than it needs to be. No, I like to be an asshole about that. Okay, are we actually out of the water then? I feel like I've checked that area pretty well, so maybe we're finally done with surfing for right now. So, what do we do next? More water Pokemon. You. Yeah. Of course, here's Finneon, which, is basically known as the Pokemon that everybody forgets about, along with its evolution and Quillfish and... mostly those three. Like, nobody ever uses Sea King, but I think people at least remember that it exists. So of course they've gotten to the point where, like, they're so forgettable that people remember them now, and I think, like, the actual most forgettable now is, like, Carnivine or something. I don't know. Obviously, there's so many Pokemon now that, like, unless you're like me and either memorize them all and or make it a point to remember obscure stuff and try to use it on teams, like, people are gonna forget about stuff. But yeah, Finneon, Lumineon don't really have a whole lot going for them, which is a shame. They're decent enough designs, and here we have a Pseudo-Widow, which is actually what I came for. And it's a female, so let's go ahead and snag this thing. Paralyze it first. Oh. Well, now that I can't actually switch, let me test that. Yeah, I can't switch. Okay. Will it survive a single Mega Drain? Let's find out. Oh, actually, yes. Okay. About to say, if you freaking critical hit. Okay. Let's go ahead and catch you. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, come on. I don't really have any reason to be hoarding Pokeballs, because there's not that many things I'm going to catch in this playthrough, but screw it. I'm going to keep resetting anyway, because that's how I roll. Come on. The drum beat in the sped-up battle music is amazing. It's just like... It sounds so stupid. Why is this thing breaking out so much? It's like I could use the Ultra Ball, but I don't feel like it. Come on, seriously? You can do it, Becky. I don't really need you to do a whole lot, but that one little bit of damage will totally help. Oh, okay. No, I'm not gonna point at that little bit of damage as being the reason I caught it, but it was kind of funny though. It does nothing but mimic a tree. Okay. Well, we caught that. There's an Ultra Ball, which I could have used on the Sudowoodo, but I didn't because I'm dumb. I cannot actually breed it to get the Bonsai yet because the Rock Incense is... Oh, fuck off. I keep forgetting to frickin' switch my team around as it raises its speed, as it kills my entire team. Okay. Yeah, my team's not looking too hot at the moment. And I don't think I can heal anywhere on this route either, which is a shame. And we've got trainers. And we've got more Floatsels. And we've got more Floatsels. I think, Repels might be... Ah, screw it, I'm too lazy to use Repels. Gotta get these berries that I won't use. And run into more Floatsels. Okay, but yeah, seriously though, I'm just gonna go heal and I'll be back in a minute. Oh, apparently there was a trainer I didn't fight. Alright, let's go ahead and do this then, with my almost entirely destroyed team. Yeah, of course Thunder would miss. Please don't miss a second time. I really need this to not miss a second time. Guess what it did? It missed a second time. Alright, Sponge, it's up to you. Alright. As usual, Sponge solos the group. And would be nice to have a grass move for this guy, but alright. Let's see if we get lucky through Metronome. Not exactly what I needed. Pursuit, yeah, let's maybe get a move that doesn't suck. Again, I appreciate the effort there, but let's get a move that's effective against it. I like how that was Teeter Dance, and yet there were Z's flying out of it as if it was like a sleep move. Oh, Haze. Just what I wanted. Okay. Can we kill the Gastrodon? I thought it was already paralyzed. Did Haze get rid of that? I don't ever remember what Haze does. Oh, no, never mind. It wasn't paralyzed. It was sleeping. I'm stupid. Oh, you know what? Why am I using that? Because math. We've got 3 Metronomes left. Ugh. Come on. Dizzy Punch. Maybe confuse it again. Oh! Last Metronome. And then I get frickin' Energy Ball. No. Guard Swap. Okay. Whatever, finish it off. And Stat Boost at the very end. Excellent. Fire Spin. Actually, how does that compare in power? Number's 40, Fire Spin is 15. Yeah. Oh, and Fire Spin's accuracy is kind of shite. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one. Fire Spin is really good in Gen 1, not so much afterwards. It's just a trapping move. It's not really needed. Also, why is my float green? What? Why is my float green? The hell? Can we have an explanation for this? I assume it's just an emulation issue. It wasn't green before this, was it? What the hell is going on? Let me see if it stays green after I go in and heal. Do I run into walls a bit? Okay. Yeah, it changed. That was really odd. I don't know what caused that. Alright. Are you even a trainer? Let's find out. I'm assuming you probably are. Oh. Well, this is gonna end well. Okay, only 3. I might be able to deal with that. Especially if one of them is a Cherrim. Again, I've used a Cherrim before. It's not that bad, but it's also not that good. So I'm thinking Fire Blast. Oh, it lived. It's gonna use frickin'... Yeah. Do I have any Super Potions left? No, I don't. I guess we're wasting Lemonades. Because I don't want to die to Petal Dance here. Alright, I might get lucky and get a Confusion turn. Yes, alright. That's 1 down. Lot Bunny. Alright, good to know that my only fighting move is on my under-leveled team member, so that'll be real useful to me. Let's just... God, that cry. Excellent. Go. I don't know what you'll do, but do something. Yeah, that would happen, wouldn't it? I'm, like, so done with this episode. I could just end it, but I wanted to clear out the route. So this one will go overtime and be very boring as a result. Let's slowly whittle this thing down. Okay, that is much appreciated. And last Pokemon is going to be... Oh, okay. I could switch out for the experience, but I'm going to stick with this and hopefully not die to the Azumarill because it's not particularly good in Gen 4. But then I died anyway. Well, it does get huge power, right? I'm assuming this one probably has it, so... Screw it. Die from Volt Tackle. Okay. There we go. How many other trainers on this route? Let's not have fricking low-level stuff in the front of the team, please. X-Scissor. Kind of curious what can learn that. Not that I have my entire team here, but... Oh, and the thing. Okay. Nobody. Alright. I will possibly check later on if somebody else can learn that. I kind of doubt they can. Any items over there? Clicking in OBS again. Alright. Not in the bear patch, apparently, but yes. Kind of odd. Another Carbos. Okay. Yep, team's looking real great here. And I think this is another Ace Trainer, too, so let's... Yeah. Yeah, this one's gonna be... Okay. And I had such good luck with Staraptors recently that I can definitely see this one ending well. Ugh. Oh, come on, did Thunder have to miss? I mean, it missed too, but still. Oh. Oh. Okay. If only that was his only Pokemon, that would have been excellent. Okay, so I think we're using a Revive on this turn. Okay, Girafarig. Who is going to be best to fight this? You're weak to Psychic. Probably Sponge, honestly. Yep. Okay. Get you out, heal, hopefully don't die. I save stated before this fight anyway, so if it goes badly, I can always reload, but... Ugh. Oh, that was critical. Here, have another Lemonade. I'm gonna have to stock up on healing items after this. Can we put this thing to sleep? I think it has Early Bird, not worth it. Please, please don't fail at this battle. You know what? Screw it. Not fighting the guy. Not worth it. Oh my god. This is what happens when videos go on far longer than they had any reason to. I start getting terrible at the game. Well, that and mainly I have to go back, like, a frickin' mile and a half to heal, and I don't want to do that every single time. So I'm trying to see how much I can accomplish without doing that. Is that a rest house? It would be really nice if it was. What is this? That's for Chingling, I think, so I don't need that, but okay. What does that one even do? Is that just boost psychic moves? Oh, it's a cleanse tag, basically. Alright. Come on, let's frickin' see what this house is. Really? Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't know what that guy gives you. Whatever it is, I'm probably never going to come back. And I want to see if there's hidden items. Yes, there is. Okay. You know, a lot of this pain and suffering could be eliminated if I would just use a repel, but I seriously just don't feel like looking for them in the bag. So we're going to deal with it anyway. Come on. You know, the great part about this is, the only reason anybody would ever come to this route, other than for, fighting the trainers like I'm doing, is because this route has the Pal Park on it, as this guy says. Pal Park is closed off until post-game, so it doesn't do me any good by being here now, but, you can actually fly back to it. The problem here is I don't think you can fly back to it unless you've been in it once, and I can't get into it, so if I leave that one ace trainer and want to come back and fight him later, I can't just fly here. That was a very long way of explaining that, but... Okay, that should be everything on the route except for this guy. Don't want to leave any loose ends, so let me go back and heal again, and then we'll finish this up. Okay. I wasn't going to actually show that on screen, but that was the most amazing battle, and I didn't get nearly enough experience out of that. So, alright. Since I'm back, let's go ahead and just finish up the rest of this traveling montage here, except it's not a montage. So we can go fight the last trainer. I've come to... That was a straight shot, okay. I've come to one other conclusion here. This whole bait and switch crap sucks ass. I don't want to do it in the other areas that I haven't fought people. So, well, honestly, you know what? This route was the worst out of them. I'm going to keep doing it for the other ones. I was going to say I'll just grind wild Pokemon for the rest of the levels, but screw that. I'm just going to do this. Alright, last time I got lucky with, I did manage to hit with Thunder. Let's see if I can do that again. Ugh. Ugh. Nope, apparently not. Well, here, take the hit. Alright. Maybe this time. Nope. Nope. What is it with me having to fricking save state and, like, cheat it out with Staraptors? That's like a recurring trend at this point. God damn it. I don't think it even is anything about my team necessarily being ill-equipped to handle them. I think it's just that Staraptor is a beast. Alright, let's go ahead and... No, because... Yeah, that thing took out, like, my entire team. That was pretty good. Can we just kill Girafarig, please? Not have this one random trainer be, like, the end of me. Okay, good. Alright, so... Again, I have no idea what to say about this episode that hasn't already been said. It was long, it was unneeded, but we are partway done with our quest of replacing a lot of my team. I've got the Sudowoodo that I can breed. I still need to get the Rock Incense, which is at the Fuego Ironworks. I'm going to be going there next. After that, there's another frickin' water route, which, screw it, I'm not doing. And that's pretty much it, I guess, so we'll see where that goes next time.